Hello, it's Nathan, and thank you for joining me for another Daily Dose of Tao. You're joining me on the top of the Golden Summit on Mount Wudang, and I thought that this would be an apt place to discuss Chapter 33 of the Tao Te Ching. It says, "To know others is wisdom, to know oneself is enlightenment, to conquer others is power, to conquer oneself is strength. To know contentment is to have wealth, to act resolutely is to have purpose. To stay one's ground is to be enduring. To die yet not be forgotten is to be long-lived." So having climbed all of the stairs to reach the Golden Summit, I can tell you that knowing that I could do it is a great portion of the journey. The other thing is that you really have to overcome a lot of hardship in order to get to this point. It is the highest point on Mount Wudang. It is roughly 5,000 feet above sea level, so I've gained over 3,000 feet of elevation, most of it all on stairs. So it's quite a feat to come up this high, and I did it in order to see the sunrise, because the sunrise from Mount Wudang is just beautiful. But what does this chapter in the Tao Te Ching really mean? So Ames and Hall point out that this portion of the Tao Te Ching is all about a priority of situation over agency. Every relationship we have is part of a larger web of relationships that we engage with. Knowing the context of those relationships and the people involved is important, but knowing where you sit within those relationships is perhaps more profound. This chapter advocates that self-agency is more important than agency over other people in your web of relationships. When we are able to conduct ourselves in a manner that shows that we have control over our actions and emotions, we are better poised to have a positive impact on those within our web of relationships. By doing this consistently, we influence positive change, not only in ourselves, but also in others. The rising tide raises all ships, is the theory. So Hall and Ames also point out that Taoist belief says that there is no separation between life and death as distinct events. Life and death are merely a part of the gradual process of change. It is the movement of the ever-flowing Tao. There is, however, a notion that real dying happens when one ceases to be remembered. By effecting positive change in others through our example of effective control of ourselves, and by showing that we can be content even under hardship, we are increasing the chance that we will be an individual that will not soon be forgotten. There's an African philosophical idea called Ubuntu, where a person is defined as a person through the web of their relationships. Others in psychological circles think that we are defined as individuals through thinking about how others think of us and trying to reflect that assumption of who they think we are in our actions. The Taoist perspective would find these ideas pretty roundabout way of figuring out who you are. Lao Tzu makes the declaration that we should learn who we are outside of our relationships to be a better representation of who we truly are and a more genuine person for those we interact with. We need to understand our natural disposition. In this notion, the Taoist would likely align very closely with Descartes in his statement, "I think, therefore I am." At any rate, I hope you get an opportunity to really think about who you are outside of your web of relationships and determine what your natural disposition truly is. Thank you for joining me for another Daily Dose of Tao, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.